So coming to this season, I thought this was going to be one of the best Packers defenses we have seen in a very long time. And so far after the first 5 weeks of the season, after watching this game yesterday morning, Packers versus Giants in London, personally, I'm a little concerned from what I saw last night and what I think we've seen looking through the first 5 weeks of the season. So taking a look at yesterday's game versus the Giants. Coming to this game, the Giants are without 3 of their receivers, something we saw earlier in the season when the Buccaneers were without 3 of their receivers. So Daniel Jones comes in with a hobbled, messed up ankle. He seems to run fine. The Giants are without some of their, top receivers in this game. And the Packers get off to a hot start, starting off 17-3. But then this defense in the second half really just fell apart, if we're being completely honest, when we look at just what this Packers defense allowed Daniel Jones to do the entire second half. They controlled the entire time of possession in the second half. The Packers basically only had the ball for 3 drives, if you don't count that final attempted Hail Mary, which did not work out whatsoever. But Daniel Jones was able to just pick up, play after play, play action pass after play action pass, picking apart the Packers zone. And it brings me back to, week 1 when the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson just completely picked us apart. So Daniel Jones picked apart this Packers zone, which I think when we look at this Packers team, they just play very passive on defense, like 3rd and long. They're sitting back, 10, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. There are lots of plays where they're sitting back, and Daniel Jones is just able to pick apart the zone. No really answer from this Packers defense playing in the zone. There are lots of miscommunications. One, for example, I'll show you guys right here that I tweeted on Twitter as I was rewatching this game. So here is 2nd and 10 in the 4th quarter. So as you can see, I can show you pictures. I can't show you the plays because YouTube likes to copyright me, and then I don't make any money from these videos. But here I can show you a picture. As you can see, Daniel Jones sitting back there in the backfield. If you can see that little blur, the guy running across near the 40, that's Saquon Barkley. And as you can see, Devondre Campbell has his hand pointed out to the right, which basically looks like he's trying to pass Saquon Barkley off to Quay Walker. But let's look at this next picture here. So next picture, as you can see, Quay Walker follows the guy he was on, who's 82. Saquon Barkley just wide open. That ends off for a 41-yard play, and the Giants come in there, score a touchdown, puts them up 27-20. So that's just one example of this Packers having miscommunications in the zone, and I think that what we've seen through the first 5 weeks of the season has shown us that this zone defense just isn't working overall. Like, yes, it works at times. We'll have moments where we're playing really well, like against the Patriots. There are probably 6 or 7 drives where this defense looks really good, and then 2 drives, Bailey Zappi comes in, just picks apart the defense, little play action passes. Packers aren't able to cover it. And we saw yesterday in the second half, the Giants just consistently move the ball down the field. It's not to say, that it's all Joe Barry's fault. I think partly when we look at this defense, the fact that they have struggled so much in the zone begs a question, like, should we be playing off so often? Should we be playing so soft as the Packers do, like tons of the game? Should we be a little more aggressive? I think maybe those are some questions lots of people are asking, as I've seen lots of Packers fans comments, saying that they're upset that the Packers are playing so soft all the time, which I honestly understand. When we have guys like Bailey Zappi and Daniel Jones with lots of injuries on their offense, at least for the Giants, picking us apart, this is just not going to be a solution, a long-term viable way for this Packers team to get as far as we want to go in the playoffs. Because coming in, as I said to start this video, I thought this would be a Packers, top 5, maybe one of the best defenses we've ever seen. And so far, they have really let us down. That's not to say they can't improve and get better over time. Obviously, they can, but it comes down to, the coordinators looking at this defense, Joe Barry looking at this defense and saying, are we doing what we need to do? Should we switch things up? And personally, I'm no, NFL scheme guru. I don't know what I'm doing out here. Joe Barry probably knows better than me, but just from us looking at these games, we can see the Packers playing soft the majority of the time, and Daniel Jones picking us apart, which is just something you don't want to see. And considering we're coming into the season where we'll be facing, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, if Daniel Jones can do this to us without 3 of his receivers, it just makes me concerned about what Josh Allen could do to us. Like, if he was in there this past game, they could have put up 50 points on this defense. So I'm hoping that this Packers defense can get things figured out. It's been, tough at times to watch them just get, picked apart on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what the solution is. I think if the Packers defense, if Joe Barry knew what the solution was, he would try to, implement that. So who knows how we fix this? Maybe we stop playing as much zone, stop playing so soft. Maybe that's a solution. But Joe Barry seems to like his zone. We heard after week 1 with Justin Jefferson just completely torching us. People were asking the question, like, why wouldn't you put Jair Alexander, your best cornerback, you paid tons of money, on the top guy in Justin Jefferson and just follow him man up, let him, follow him across the entire field. And Barry basically answered saying that, when you sort of switch that up and you decide to put Jair on one guy the entire time, it sort of messes up everything around the field basically. And Joe Barry basically saying he wants to continue playing zone. So hopefully they figure things out, because if not, it's going to be tough for this Packers team just going forward, because the offense has struggled as well at times. This past game put up 0 points in the second half. So there's lots of things I think that personally I'm a little worried about in this Packers team. Obviously things can get better, but hopefully they will, because next week we'll be at home, but we're coming in against a Jets team that just put up, 40 plus points. So there are lots of things to clean up. I think a few other reasons for this defense's poor performance is multiple penalties from Rasul Douglas. I think Darnell Savage had a couple, which took away at least 2 sacks, which would have been big game changers in this game. So there's just lots of things to clean up for this defense, and hopefully we see them clean it up soon, coming in these next few weeks. But that is all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys next time.